lifestyle about seasonal also, like seasonal regime along with the daily regime. Also, it says about the behavioral rules and regulations, like you should be truthful, you should be good to everybody, you should try not to steal anything or many things. If you go deeper and deeper, you will find n number of things. But in general, sleep for 8 hours, try to have fresh early morning breakfast. Before the breakfast every day, compulsory brush your teeth. This is a thing I saw in western public, that yeah, after having food I will brush my teeth, but before food why should I? It is too much work for me. It is cleansing of your body. It is not for me. It is for yourself, for your health. So try to be particular with that. Also, the habit of excretion. Every day morning, you should excrete. The motions should be regular. This is a very important part in your life, but nobody understands. And in the Western people, I see more of these problems like constipation, or yeah, I do like I go to toilet after every 2 or 3 days or something like that. And weird habits, I feel, how? But you won't get you won't feel fresh unless and until you have regular excretory habits. So try to be specific with that. Every day early morning bath with fresh water, like warm water for the lower body, and above, like for the face, like normal water or cold water is fine. uh, this practice should be like a regular habit. But many countries I see a habit that they take a bath and then they sleep nicely, but in the morning I don't have time, so I just wake up, I just grab a coffee and go to office. No. Or sit on the office table. This is not your ideal thing you should do, because it will create just negativity and saturation in you. And then there will be episodes of burnout and negativity, and oh, I'm just exhausted. Try to be a fresh start every day. Every day 45 minutes of exercise is also a very important routine one should compulsory follow. Also, daily abhyanga like oil massage will be healthier and good start for your day before you take your regular bath. Like regular breakfast, then like time should also be a thing to be considered. Like every day afternoon, like you can decide your time, like I will have lunch at 12, like 1:30 or 2 o'clock, but it should be between 12 to 2, not very late or not very early. The intermittent fasting, this thing is not very suitable for everybody, but it should be like a thing who can sustain, who is not very strong pitta person can follow. But I won't recommend it for everybody, because a typical pitta person like me cannot tolerate fast, and then there will be some other problems like pitta vitiation in some or other form in the body, and that will give more troubles than the benefits of intermittent fasting. Coming back to the thing, uh, regular habit of like fresh things to start, fresh flowers in your room or some fresh other fragrances things are very good to have some positive changes in your life. Be specific with your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Have multiple things like vegetables, fruits, different options. In the western dietary habits, I see very common, like everyday breakfast is same: bread and cheese, bread and this spread, that spread, like bread and chocolate, bread and whatnot. Bread and strawberry is somebody's breakfast. So try to make it variety, try to make it fresh and appealable. Like if you see somebody very pretty, you feel naturally to talk with them, to be nice with them, to be happy, to give a sweet smile, give like normal, just a positive vibe. I'm not saying in a bad way, but in a positive way, a positive vibe will be there. But if you are eating the same breakfast, like same bread and cheese or some stuff, or some bacon, or some like typical chicken or meat or some other thing, that won't be very good, and that won't give you freshness for the day. Also, because it is like prepared long back and you are eating that same thing, it can cause many other things. Dryness will lead to constipation, some digestive problems, some other problems. Some people will have some thyroid or some hormonal disturbances. Some females will have their menstrual cycles irregular, many number of problems. I don't want to mention each and everything, but it can be a mess and havoc of diseases. But if practiced neatly and finely, nicely, it can be a very good lifestyle. You should decide what you want.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. I think um, you have mentioned a lot of things which are very important and necessary, but a lot of questions that build up in my head is first I will start with, for example, if a person has a slow metabolism, or maybe we're talking about humans. I think this all things could be very debatable, but one thing I want to start is like for if we talk about excretion. So if a person is having a slow metabolism, and that has been always for him, uh, how would we uh, like how can one get it better? Because I think on the other side you are saying the kind of food you're eating, it's also impacting it. But I think it's all a connected circle. If one has to see from a bird's eye view, they will or like from far, like if you zoom out, you see that things are very much connected. The way you uh, complete your sleep, the food you are eating, warm or cold, how is your body type, right? And then eventually, like if we talk about excretion, I think if some of the parameters are disturbed, eventually there will be problems in having a bowel movement and things like that. But still, like if I again say, then again this is a little bit contradictory, right? Because if we say we want to have one should eat actually the local, right? So let's say there are geographies. I always talk this and bring it in discussion with a lot of people from different geographies. One thing is like uh, our earth has different geographies, right? A lot of countries have the favorable climate to grow vegetables or fresh fruits. A lot of countries are recently getting the possibility to have some imports, like fresh fruits and vegetables. But maybe, for example, we are talking about Europe, especially Western Europe. I think the winters get really harsh, and summers are pretty okay. So one can think of growing some fruits and vegetables as well, and maybe some local meat or dairy, whatever it is. But if it is the season, that is making it super complex. Let's say Netherlands is still okay. If you go in the north, Norway, Sweden, it gets really super cold and snow. Then you cannot grow vegetables if we have to go with the principles of Ayurveda. I know this is all very contradictory, so I would like to have your say on this. How can one try to answer these questions and still follow the Ayurvedic principles? Staying local, eating healthy, planning time to eat vegetables, fruits, and and like fresh morning routines. Let's say only also for bath. A lot of times one might skip bath. I'm not talking about the 21st century. Let's say 2 centuries or 1 century ago, there were not always favorable conditions to have hot water, right? Maybe someone is trying to skip it till the time it's really necessary. I'm not sure like how we can put all these things together for someone, for something which is really that complex. Maybe, yeah, would like to hear more on this.
It is nice. Too many questions and too many answers to cross each and every point
Yeah.
of yours.
I think that's why it's very interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's debatable. It's very contradictory as well.
Yeah. But you know the concept survival of the fittest. If we read human history, we can get to know about survival of the fittest, dinosaurs, and many other things. Like day by day, there were some changes in humans also as well. Like earlier, like ape, Homo sapien had tail, and then the tail got vanished. Like slowly reduced in size, and then there is no tail now. They were like walking on like two hands and two legs. Now the developed human is just like walking on two legs, or eating something available on the like tree directly, like monkeys do. But these things are like survival, and survival of the fittest. Like humans were the most I can say, what to say,
Evolved.
yeah, evolved human, like evolved species of animals, and hence we are grown, and we have growth in the technology, in the food, and this, that, many things. Back to the topic, where on the islands where there is no good atmosphere to grow the vegetables or fruits or this, that, xyz, that time I would say again the survival of the fittest rule comes. And if you see, more human species are now, because of the like lack of availability of place and this, that, like people have migrated from this place to this place, this place to this place. But earlier there were few places where there was no human species, because where the like environment, weather is more friendly, you can like everything is easily possible grow, and things are easy. Of course it was not easy anytime, but somehow it got evolved, and that way it grows. Like I have seen, do you know the concept of like terrace farming? This concept is evolved in 21st century. It was not before, like in the eras of rishi munis and those. Why? Because of the lack of the space and land, people started some other options and things, and this, that, like bunk beds from like one bed other, like according to your need you try to
Adjust.
yeah, adjust and fit. And to use one single line, it is survival of the fittest. So you cannot specify in that way. Of course technology is growing, because of that human creature like is growing, and because of that we are trying to make more and more sustainable things for us. So we've prepared a fridge, refrigerator, so called, then oven, then this, then that, and after like preparing so many gadgets, now it's a WhatsApp world. Now AI is growing, so people are saying, oh, artificial intelligence. Okay, how should I like this was just a joke part, but how should I make my girlfriend happy because she's very angry? I could not give her time. And I just feel, is this a question you should ask? If you are connecting with her, you should not have that question. Similarly, like I just wanted to make this point clear. It is more survival of the fittest. If you survive with your girlfriend, you can survive. If you don't, then with the help of artificial intelligence, how much time you will survive? There will be some point of, I don't want to say, but something. So try to be local means, yeah, of course, the like environment, whether you are, try to have the food from that areas, because that is more better for you. For example, western countries have organic farming, like avocados and those things are not very common in India, but western countries have, because avocados are very heavy to digest, and western countries have the weather, for which to beat the weather they need more like things which will be helpful to uh, fight the wind.
Okay.
The other thing, I won't say avocado
It's
helps in
it's
fighting the wind, but in general, like cheese, why Western countries are more eating cheese? The reason behind is that. But again, Indian culture is like to follow the Western things and then getting know, oh, our ancient things were more better.
yeah.
So it is a vicious circle. If you try to follow something, it will come with its own side effects. And if like everything has its perks and like pros and cons,
Yeah.
try to be very simple with the things, don't complicate the things. Okay, fresh, eat fresh, that's all you understood. Then what is available? Okay, okra is available in India, then you can have it in India. Here if you get it, very good. If you get bittle gourd, bottle gourd, those things, they are good, you can have it. If you don't get, you get here cauliflower, have it. If you get sparsiponin like beans, mung beans, like the lentils, eat that. Whatever you get here, try to eat that. But that doesn't mean eat anything. Of course, the doctor or the Ayurvedic consultant will help you in, like, yes, this is good for you, this is not good for you, like that, according to your individual, like, prakriti or doshas, as we mentioned, the bioenergies, like that. But it will be individual tailored thing.
Yeah.
To be a random general thing for a family and not, yeah, it is possible for in every individual to come and take consultation, then maybe this can be just the simple, just try to follow the simplest rules and be on your toes. Don't try to just make it a, like, so-called show off big picture. Yeah, I'm doing this, that, and this is Ayurveda. This is not Ayurveda. Ayurveda says be simple, be natural, but there are specific rules, like fruit and milk should not be eaten together anytime. Like,
Okay.
this is a normal rule of Ayurveda. It is not about any specific individual. I won't recommend for any individual to eat fruit and milk together. Or if honey, like, there is like a fad, every patient comes and tells me, okay, early morning I drink a jar of 1 liter water with 3 spoons, 2 spoons, or some spoons of honey and some other organic tea, this, that, like that. And do everybody needs the scraping action of honey? No, it is needed for some people who has really increased kapha, because to kapha, scraping out is necessary. But nowadays I see each and every person eating this, that, under the name of Ayurveda. That is wrong. Also, like, the herbal life products or some other company, this natural herb, this natural, that is this, that is not actual Ayurveda. It is just a branding under the name of Ayurveda. I feel, like, of course, it can be a very good supplement, but try to make it Ayurveda as a lifestyle, not as a promotional product or field or habit.
It's not a business.
Yeah.
You're not selling something. I think it's more of good for yourself and listening to one's body. But
Yeah.
if I have to conclude like this little bit of what you said, maybe uh, it's a very interesting point that we also talked about sustainability, evolution, and the local. I think I see something in my head, like, because I'm very interested in the sustainability and the whole initiatives that are going around, and people doing wonderful works and showing the world brilliant examples, how things could be done. Uh, uh, I'm just trying to say is that in my understanding, if something has come to Europe which was not native to Europe, but it finds its place now, and it is done in the right way, let's say it's not using any fertilizers or any GMOs, and it's going okay. For example, the vertical farm or terrace gardens, or they're called like box beds or wickles, and several other things where I think there is some overlap of permaculture. A lot of people talk about it. But I see like there is an overlap. Once something finds its place, if it's working for the locals, you should be more observant of about your individual body as well. While practicing and or consuming that. For example, avocado, or several things which are probably not native to Europe. Over the period of time, it has come that far, and it's fitting in now. I think that's a very good takeaway. I think Ayurveda has many interpretations depending on who you are, for example, your body, where you are, the presence, the surroundings, the availability of food, or the kind of temperature you are in, the kind of soil you have, the kind of seasons you have. I think they all play a part. So, can we say that Ayurveda varies from region to region as well, and climate to climate?
Of course, climate to climate it varies, region to region it varies. It is like region to region there is change in the climate and surroundings. Because of that, it varies. Actually, it doesn't vary in India and in the West. Ayurveda it's same, but the rules and regulation varies because of the weather conditions, the temperature, the food lifestyle habits, the food available, the time available, the work life balance available, many things. So of course there is difference, but it is a similarity. So because of this thing only, there will be some misunderstanding when I say something. So it is better to take some expert advice and then to start with. But of course, for every individual to wake up early morning, to have regular bowel movements, those things are in general for each and every individual. It doesn't make difference if you are in India, South Africa, or on any other island, or in Europe, or wherever you are. Some basic rules of life are there for sure.
Our body gives us a lot of sign whether eating something is really feeling good or not inside, or there might be not really black and white explanations to this, but our bodies do work around those things. I think there are concepts of energies, frequencies, and food is also like having a lot of energy, indirectly.
I would just give a simple example. If you prepare any food, and if you eat just after preparing it, and if you eat it after keeping in a refrigerator or wherever you want, and next day, there will be difference in the taste, there will be difference in the feeling, there will be difference in the enjoyment, nutrition, everything. So of course it does matter.
Okay, I think that's a lot of insight, at least as a good starting episode. I think we will be having more and more conversations and episodes in the future. We will be trying to unwind many layers, and making it a little bit easier for someone who can follow this. And I think it's very interesting, right? There should be more awareness and talks like this. What do you think?
Yeah, it was nice to have this conversation. It gives more about insights of a general public, or in general what tech or IT field persons are in an impression about Ayurveda. It is good to know.
Well, I hope you got a positive impression. Well, thank you for your time and thank you for being on this episode. Hope to see you again.
Thank you. It was nice to be there. It was nice. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.